Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I'm marketing operations here at Smarty. So, our presenter today, we have Dallin Plowman, customer success manager, with us, and we're super excited to hear what you've got to share with us. So, without further ado, Dallin.
It's great to be here. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about the dashboard today. It's one of the greatest tools we have at Smarty. It gives you so many useful resources and tools to get you started on your journey. Or if you're already down your journey, it's going to give you a lot of help and assistance along the way. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this. Different direction. Alrighty. So for those of you who are new to Smarty, this right here is your dashboard. The dashboard is full of all sorts of different tools. So right here is the Smarty dashboard, and the Smarty dashboard has all sorts of different tools that are incredibly useful. To get started on the dashboard or to get to the dashboard, there's two ways you can do it. One, if you go to smarty.com/login, it'll take you right to the login page. Additionally, if you go to smarty.com, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll be able to see this little icon right up here that I'm highlighting now. Click on that and it'll get you started at logging in. Once you do log into your dashboard, there's a ton of things here. So we're going to break this down simply for you. We'll just go over a few of these tabs and what's on each of those. On this first page is your general information. One of the most important steps in your Smarty journey is to set up your account. So once you get your account and you're logged in and you're ready to start using the Smarty product, you can go ahead and set it up by confirming your email, adding some keys to your account, additional contacts for important information, and then you can add a nickname to your account if you have multiple accounts that you need to go through. Right here on the side, we have some great resources for getting started. They go over some documents that tell you additional webinars for more instructions. You can try some of our free products here and just get a general idea for all the different tools we offer. And then right here at the very bottom are our tutorials. These will get you started on your very first address verification, how to find bulk addresses, and all sorts of other tools. In addition to these resources, if you go to our website, there are additional resources and documents. You'll go to the resources tab at the top of the page, click on any of the pieces there, and then there should be a search function. So you can look up anything that you have questions on.
Yeah, Dallin, it looks like those introductory tutorials down at the bottom are primarily for like non-coders. Looks like I don't have to set up an API or set up an instance of anything. I can do it right in Google Sheets. I guess batch geocoding might include an API, but most of these are just ways to start getting address data immediately.
Exactly. One of the things we strive for here at Smarty is to ensure that you guys get the tools and resources as quickly as possible. And so not only can you find out how to do some of that here, we even have a tools page we'll cover later that'll show you how to do all those things without any coding. You don't have to have a coder on your team to be able to access these resources. In fact, even the bulk lookup, as long as you are able to save a file as a CSV, you can get access to those as well. The last thing on this dashboard that's incredibly helpful is these active subscriptions. So for me, I have our US property data subscription active. There's going to be a whole bunch of them. In fact, the majority of you will probably see right here, it'll say address verification. Additionally, just to clarify for anyone who is confused, this box up here that says set up your account may not be there. If it's not there, someone on your team or you have already set up your account. To dive back into our active subscriptions, this is a quick overview of your subscription and all the information you would need about it. So if you click on it, it'll give you additional information like the plan that you're currently using. This is just a donated plan I have here for our property data. How many lookups per second you can get from that, and then the license value, which are all tools that'll help you when you're programming and setting things up automatically on your side, or if you just want to know what kind of a plan you're working with. It'll also show you a percentage of lookups used and how many lookups you've been using, the start and expiration date and the status, if it's expired, if it's been used up, or if it's currently active. Additionally, for any of you who are trying to set up automated processes and don't want to have to worry about renewing it with an account executive, you can set up auto renewal right here. Since this is a donated plan, I don't have the option to be able to set that up as a auto renewal. So any free accounts won't have this option. But if you have a credit card entered and you want that renewed, you'll find it right here. It'll be a little toggleable button you can press there.
To clarify, not a free account, it's a free subscription. So all of our accounts are free, but depending on what subscription you have, it may or may not be auto renewable. Essentially, if you've paid for it, you can renew it.
Exactly. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. We'll stop if anyone has any questions about the dashboard. It's got a lot of that simple information. So we'll dive into a lot of this in more depth.
Yeah, so far, no questions.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll head on over to API keys then. API keys is going to be how your developers can get started and start coding in some of these tools into your process. There's two types of keys we offer here at Smarty, embedded keys and secret keys. And the way I like to think of those is embedded keys are embedded within your software and won't be able to be seen or accessed by clients, while secret keys are going to be on your customers or your admins, whoever's using the product. This will be on their web browser. And so we call them secret keys because we don't want them getting all your Smarty information. To create a key, you'll come over here to create embedded key, or it'll say secret key. You can go ahead and give it a name right here. So we'll go ahead and just put this down as a test. Our description is this is for testing purposes. You can go ahead and give this a name and description that fits your use case best. So whatever you guys are using it for could be very beneficial to put down what it's being used for and a name, just so that anyone who comes into the product later has easy access to understanding what's going on. Next here, this is one of the most important parts about setting up an embedded key, is you need to authorize any host who's going to be using that. And what that means is if you have an IP address that will be calling the HTTPS request, which is how you access your Smarty information, you'll want to put down all those IP addresses right here, or any website domains will be entered in here. So we'll do smarty.com. And then you can go ahead and create that key. At any point, you can go ahead and edit these keys, change their names, and change which hosts have access to those. Similarly, with secret keys, you'll create it right up here. And the only difference here is that this is something that's going to go into the actual website. So you'll be using these auth IDs and auth tokens in that call. And so you just need a name and description on these. And that's how you get started on API keys. Any questions so far?
So for me, I've mostly come in to use the API keys when I'm setting up autocomplete on a website. And I may use the same key on multiple sites. I imagine that's allowed. That's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So it depends on what you guys are doing with it and how you want to run things. All of those secret keys are for your benefit and for your help. So if you want to use one for everything, you absolutely can. If you have you want to keep track of which ones are being used on which products, you can as well.
So I got to include like 3 or 4 hosts on a single embedded key there, and no problem.
Yep, absolutely.
Great.
You can include as many of those hosts as you'd like, or you can create an embedded key for each host.
Okay. Very cool.
Next up, we have our billing tab. And billing it's about as straightforward as it gets for our subscriptions. So right here, you enter in any of your taxable addresses. And this will be needed if you're working with an account executive or you're doing it on your own. So make sure you take a second to take a look at the billing page. You can enter in all that taxable information here and enter in a credit card for those of you who are wanting to set up an auto renewal for any of your subscriptions. In addition, you'll also be able to take a look at all of your order history. So this is any time you've purchased something with us, it'll show up here. And to make sure that it's as clear as possible, I wanted to dive into one of these with you guys today. So I'll go ahead and pull up this one right here at the top. So this is what a receipt looks like at Smarty. You'll have general information about your account up here, information about the actual order when it was approved and placed, and then the actual plan that you've purchased here. Additionally, we'll break down the costs for you here. What's important to know about this is this will appear once your plan has gone live. But this does not mean a purchase has been made or the payment's gone through yet. In order to know when that's happened, you'll want to just look down here at this section here. If there is an item listed down here, which in this case there isn't, then that means that no plan has been purchased. This will be true for any purchase you make. So if you do it online or through an account executive, if there's not anything here, that means no purchases have been made. And you're either using a donated subscription or no payment has been placed yet.
So like a free trial might be on here.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And anything you need to edit here, you can jump on and go through. In fact, we'll go over a couple options for who can have access to these different pages within your organization in just a moment. But we'll first go over to our notifications before that, if there's any questions, feel free, we'll take a look.
We don't have any questions up right now. I am curious, of all of the people that are watching this live, are you following along? Do you have your own account, or are you considering getting an account? I'm just curious who came to this webinar. Is it people that already have accounts or people that are considering having accounts? So let me know in chat or the Q&A panel.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll go ahead and get started on notifications. If anything pops up, we'll make sure to take a look at that. The notifications page right here is available to anyone with a Smarty account, and you'll be able to notify yourself when a subscription is at a certain usage amount. So say that you have a US address verification subscription. You need to verify lots of addresses, and customers are reliant on this to actually get through the checkout process on your portal. This would be one way that you can notify yourself of how many lookups you've used and how many you have left. Simply press the usage you want and save changes. It's that simple. And then once 25% of any given subscription has been used, it'll go ahead and notify you. So say you have 3 different subscriptions, it'll notify you when each of those is at 25, 50, 70%, whichever is most relevant to you and your organization. Next up, we'll go ahead and move on to subscriptions. You'll notice it says single sign-on here. This is not a feature that's available to every customer. Single sign-on is something available to customers who've purchased a high enough lookup tier, or can be purchased through your account executive if it's something your organization needs. But so for today, we'll go ahead and skip it and move down to our subscriptions section. Subscriptions is basically a more in-depth version of what you saw on the dashboard, which is that active subscription section. Here, you're going to be able to see all of your subscriptions you've ever had on your account, as well as get information on any subscription that you may not have known about, or one that you're wanting to know more about. So for instance, let's go ahead and dive into this again. You'll get the exact same information, and this is additionally where you'll be able to set up that auto renew again. So very similar to the dashboard, just gives you a more in-depth history of everything and allows for those learning opportunities for you. Next up here, we've got our Teams tab. This Team tabs goes over everyone who is currently able to log in or receive notifications from the account. So there's 2 different tabs you'll notice are team members here or contacts. And the difference between a team member and a contact is who's able to log in versus who's going to be receiving notifications for an account. So all team members will be getting notifications, but not all contacts can log in. So in this case, I'm able to have 2 team members. You can see right here at the bottom of your screen how many your plan allows. Every paid plan allows for 3. And you can again work with your account executives if you need more on that. These will be able to log in. In fact, let's go ahead and remove this real quick. And I will invite a new member just to show you what it looks like to add somebody. So you'll click new member, and then it will allow you to enter in their email address and then give permissions. And this is something I was talking about a little bit earlier. Permissions is essentially what people will have access to on the Smarty account. So there's 3 different categories we have, which is account, API keys, and billing. Account is general account information such as the dashboard, notifications, subscriptions, etc. The API keys.
Someone that might want to be able to continually check usage. How close are we to running out?
Exactly.
That's where you'd want the account access.
Exactly. So any administrator who are trying to monitor what is going on with the account will be able to see all the general information they would need with that account.
Okay, cool.
API keys is going to be, let's pull that up again. API keys is going to be for anyone who's a developer and who is needing access to create, edit, or view keys. So this will be your developers, maybe any IT guys you have who are working on it as well, or any support team members who need to troubleshoot things for clients. Billing right here is going to be for any of your finance team members who are needing access to the billing page and to get billing notifications.
If I have the account permission, but not API keys, am I able to go to the API tab? I just can't edit anything?
So you won't be able to see the API tab at all.
Okay.
So that will not even be visible to you, let alone editable. In fact, you can even choose which, if they're able to, we come over here to the access, you get to choose if they have no access to it, if they're able to edit it, or if they're just a viewer of those tabs.
Oh, okay.
For additional...
so maybe I don't want anybody to create any more API tags, but they're keys, but they can still grab them and use them in other places. The ones that we've already created, it would be okay to give them view access there.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. And similarly, for contacts, we have similar, the different communication preferences, which is billing, product, security notices. These are similar in terms of, if you want someone to be getting notifications about billing, but maybe they don't have any reason to log into the portal, you can set that up here. For any product updates, so say you have a team who is always looking to improve their product, and they want to know ways they can handle address data better. They can get notified here. Or for any security notices, say you have an IT team who's needing that. You can enter in all their information right here and invite them. Again, just to emphasize this, contacts cannot log into the account. Team members can.
So contacts will get emails.
Correct.
Will team members get emails as well?
Yep. Team members will also be getting emails and notifications.
Excellent.
And then next up here, we have our tools page. And to put this super straightforward, this is for those people who don't have developers and are still needing access to some of these tools we offer at Smarty. Right here, you have the tool to do single address verification. You have a tool right here. If you have a bulk list, say you have 100,000 addresses you need validated, but you don't want to run it through our API, you can do that all right here. For those of you who've purchased US address extraction product, you can get things through here as well. And similarly, if you've purchased the US address enrichment, which is property data, you can get single lookups through here as well. And then to kind of wrap up the tour of the dashboard here, we have two other tabs I wanted to touch on. Documentation, which I'll open up right here, will take you to that page that I talked about at the beginning of this webinar, where you can search any question you may have about any Smarty products, and you'll be able to find answers and documentation on them. That goes from our SDK, which is just a quick and easy way to set up any coding, cloud API references, which goes into more depth into how it actually works and how you can get things, or just local API reference information can all be found here. And by searching anything like metadata, you can get access to all of our documentation and information on metadata.
Pro tip when doing that search, because I use this search all the time. If I want to know like kind of the angle that it's coming from, aside from just the title, you can see through the breadcrumbs below, like the unlocked value in your address data with metadata, that's a blog on the far left side. And the other one is an article. So it's going to be a little more in depth. But if you find it and it says documentation on the left, that's when you know you're getting deep into the weeds. So that can be helpful to find the right stuff.
For instance, right here is more information on our international, which includes metadata points. And then the last bit here on the dashboard is our contact support. I'll take you to our website, but I want to show you an even easier way to find it. At all times while you're using the Smarty dashboard, here in the bottom right-hand corner is a little blue bubble, and this will get you in contact with our support team. One of my favorite features about Smarty is that we never connect you to a robot. We'll always connect you to a support person. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick message just to show you how quickly they're able to get to you. We're going to just I have a question. Go ahead and see how long it takes them to get back to us. We say no robot. They know it's a bot. There it is. Here, I help. They'll show you a little picture of here. You're just doing you can somebody from 7 a.m. standard time, 5 p.m. 5 standard time, standard time. You reach out to us after hours, before we'll go into a queue. You have people in office to live on this queue. So we'll go ahead and thank Garrett for his help there. We'll go ahead and end that. That in a nutshell is the Smarty dashboard. There's some very valuable tools that even just being an employee here, I wish I had known about I start, and I hope help you all your Smarty experience.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dallin. So when I asked our audience, how are you guys using this? What you're doing? Several of them already have accounts. One person says they have a trial account now, they're considering a paid account. When it comes to the tools section, if I have a free trial, 42-day trial of 1,000 lookups, if I come here to use those, is it going to use my lookups?
Yes, absolutely. So if you do come here to use those with a trial, it will use those trial lookups.
Okay, excellent. And what if so for example, you right now, I saw on your dashboard, you only have US address enrichment. Oh, sorry, US property data. So if you wanted to use that US property data in here, you would access that through tools, and then you actually click on the enrichment button.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So our property data subscription is accessed through our US address enrichment API.
Sure.
So in order to get access to that, I would come here. You'd be able to select one. So I have the principal version. So I'd be able to select the principal. Then I could enter in an address. So let's go.
Hit your head on the keyboard and get an address.
That's right. So we could even just type in right there. We can go ahead and get all that information from right here. In fact, if you're using the actual API tools, and this would be the exact same response that a developer would get. So we're giving you the exact same information in just an easy to digest way.
That's awesome. Okay, so now you don't have address verification lookups. What happens if you go to that list tool?
We come over here. In this case, it went ahead and it looks like it took us to our website.
Oh, this is the single address one. Yep. So
Yep.
it'll take you out here, but it'll still count against your lookups, especially if you paid for something extra, additional metadata or added stuff. But let's try the bulk one.
There.
List processing there. Okay, so in here, you don't have any lookups. So if you try, it'll probably throw an error that says, hey, you need a free trial.
Correct. Yep. So if you try doing it there, it would give you that. Or you can also check out some sample lists if you'd like. Cool. That will show you just generally what it would look like if you did have the subscription. So if you're just wanting to test out to see even what it would, let's see, pulled up over here. So here's one of our, so this would be an example of one of our lists that you can get access to.
Oh, these are Wendy's.
Yep.
Anybody want to know where a Wendy's is nearby?
These ones are all in Alabama, it looks like. So if you're needing a Wendy's in Alabama, we've got you covered today, right now. You can also get one for international or for zip code sample lists as well here.
Okay, excellent. Another feature, if you can click on the left side, your ID, if you are managing multiple accounts, you access them both here.
Yep, absolutely. So when you first log in, it'll give you an option to choose which account, which is where those nicknames come in handy.
Oh, okay.
So if you have multiple accounts and you need to know what product or which customer that's for, you can go ahead and put a nickname in, and then you'll be able to pick from them. And then you can also switch once you're logged in between the accounts easily that way.
Okay. Excellent. Well, any other questions? Now's your time to ask. But if you wouldn't mind showing me that last slide, if you currently have an account and you don't have lookups, you can get 1,000 free lookups to use within 42 days. Yes, 42 days, the answer to life and everything, at smarty.com/signup. You can also get free trials for geocoding. You can get free trials for autocomplete. You can get free trials for all of our products, and you can access them right through your dashboard, most of them, including enrichment. Address enrichment is available right there. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for your time, Dallin. This has been fantastic. And thanks everybody for joining us. We hope you got out of it what you were hoping for, and we'll see you guys next time.